Number 1, simplify an expression for the perimeter of an equilateral triangle shown below. So to find the perimeter, you have to add all the sides. So we're going to add 1.75x minus 2, and we're going to do that 4 times. So 1.75x minus 2, or excuse me, 3 times, because there's 3 sides to a triangle. 1.75x minus 2 3 times. So 1.75 3 times is 5.25. And negative 2, and negative 2 make negative 6. 5.25x minus 6. Number 2, which of the following expressions has a simplified value of 3a minus 2? So looking at our problems, we would combine the like terms. Negative 6 plus 9 is 3, so 3a. 4 minus 2 is a positive 2, so a is not correct. Letter B, we combine like terms. Negative a and 5a. Negative a and 5a gives us 4a. And then we subtract an a again to give us 3a. 4 minus 6 gives us negative 2. So B is our correct answer. Number 3, which is the correct simplified version of the expression shown after distributing and combining like terms? So we distribute to both parts of the parentheses. Negative 1/3 times 9x is negative 3x. Negative 1/3 times negative 18 is a positive 6. And then bring down the plus 8x. I combine like terms, negative 3 plus 8, and I get 5x plus 6. 5x plus 6 is letter A. Number 4, we distribute to both parts of the parentheses. 0.3 times negative 4 is going to give us negative 1.2x. We do it again. 0.3 times a positive 20 is going to give us 6, and then plus 8.8x. Bring down the negative 7, bring down the 8.8x. We combine our like terms, negative 1.2 plus 8.8x. So negative 1.2 plus 8.8 is going to give us 7.6x. Don't forget the variable. And then we combine the other like terms, negative 7 plus 6. Negative 7 plus 6 is a negative 1. Number 5, which is the correct first step to solve the linear equation shown? So we need to combine like terms, and we're going to combine the 15 and the 40. To combine 15 and 40, you have to do the opposite. You do a minus 15. And so the correct first step is letter D, subtract 15 from both sides. Number 6, solve the equation below. I'm going to combine my like terms by doing the opposite. I do a plus 18. X over negative 1.2 equals 20. Now, typically, our last step is to divide. However, this fraction bar, x over negative 1.2, means divide, and we have to do the opposite. We're going to multiply by negative 1.2. So 20 times negative 1.2 gives us negative 24. Number 7, Austin solved the equation as shown below, which correctly describes the error that Austin made in his work. So Austin should have started by adding the like terms, 7 plus 8 to get 15. He should have combined like terms negative 3 and negative 9. However, negative 3 and negative 9 do not give him negative 6. It gives him a negative 12. And so letter B is the correct answer. Number 8, solve the equation below. So we're going to start by combining like terms, 9x plus x. And I bring down everything else. So 34 equals negative 2. 9 plus 1 is going to give me 10, so 10x, and then plus 16. I keep combining like terms. My whole numbers, negative 2 and 16. Negative 2 plus 16 is going to give us 14. I continue combining like terms by doing the opposite. I do a minus 14. 34 minus 14 is going to give us 20. And our last step is to divide. 20 divided by 10 is 2. X equals 2. Number 3, which of the following shows the equation after both sides have been distributed correctly? So we know that distribute means multiply. Negative 4 times 1 is a negative 4x. Negative 4 and negative 2 give us a positive 8. 5 times 3 gives us 15. 5 times negative 8 gives us a negative 40. So our correct answer is going to be letter C. Negative 4x plus 8 equals 15x minus 40. Number 10, the perimeter of the rectangle below is 42 inches. Find the value of x. So I know that the top side is 5x and the bottom side is 5x. I know the left side is x minus 3 because the right side is x minus 3. Perimeter means we add all the sides, so I'm going to add the 5x and the 5x. And I'm going to add the x minus 3 and the x minus 3. And it tells me the perimeter is 42, so that's my answer. I'm going to go ahead and combine all of my like terms, 5x, 5x, x, and x. 5 plus 5 is 10, 10 plus 1 is 11, 11 plus 1 is 12. 12x minus 3 equals 42. I continue combining like terms, negative 3 and negative 3. Negative 3 and negative 3 are going to give us a negative 6, and then equals 42. Continue combining like terms by doing the opposite. We're going to add 6 to both sides. 42 plus 6 is 48. And my last step is to divide. 48 divided by 12 is going to give me 4. X equals 4. Number 11, solve the equation below. We start by distributing. Distribute means multiply. So negative 8x minus 6x, 3 times 2 is negative 6. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3 equals 67. I combine my like terms, negative 8x and negative 6x. Negative 8 and negative x is a negative 14x. Minus 3 equals 67. Continuing to combine like terms by doing the opposite, I do a plus 3. Negative 14x equals 70. My last step is to divide. 70 divided by 14, negative 14, is going to give me a negative 5. Number 12. If the area of the rectangle shown is 88 square inches, which equation could be used to find the value of x? So area is length times width. So 3/4 x plus 5 times 8. Now, we want to multiply times 8, parentheses means multiply, equals the 88 square inches. Now, none of those are our possible answer choices because we know that when we have parentheses, we have to distribute. 8 times 3/4 is going to give us 6, so 6x plus 40, because 8 times 5 is 40, equals 88. Letter D is our correct answer. Number 13, which is the correct solution to the equation shown? Again, we distribute first. 0.4 times 5 is going to give us 2, so that's a 2x. 0.4 times negative 12 is going to give us a negative 4.8. Plus 0.5x equals 15.2. We continue to combine like terms by combining the 2x plus the 0.5x. 2 plus 0.5 is 2.5. I bring down the negative 4.8 and the 15.2. Continue combining like terms by doing the opposite. We do a plus 4.8. 15.2 plus 4.8 is going to give us 20, so 2.5x equals 20. Our last step is to divide. 20 divided by 2.5 is going to give us 8, letter A. Number 14, again, we distribute first, so 1/10 times x is 1/10 x. 1/10 times 50 is 5. Equals negative 3x minus 13 plus 4x. We combine like terms by combining negative 3x and 4x. Negative 3 plus 4 is 1. So 1/10 x plus 5 equals x minus 13. Continue combining like terms by doing the opposite. I do a minus x. So 1/10 minus 1 is going to give me negative 9/10 x plus 5 equals negative 13. Still continuing to combine like terms by doing a minus 5. Negative 13 minus 5, I'm going to rewrite this up here at the top. Negative 9/10 x is going to equal negative 18. And then our last step is to divide. Negative 18 divided by negative 9/10 is going to give us 20. X equals 20. Number 15. Aaron weighs 135 pounds and is gaining 1/2 pound each week. Miranda weighs 143 pounds and is losing 1/4 pound each week. Which of the following equations could be used to determine X, the number of weeks that it will take until the two girls weigh the same amount? So we have 135 and she's gaining weight, so we're going to add the 1/2 pound per week. Each week per week is where we put in the variable X. Miranda's is where she weighs 143 pounds, but she's losing 1/4 pounds, so we're subtracting. Looking at that problem, our correct answer is going to be letter B. 135 plus 1/2 x equals 143 minus 1/4 x. Number 16, which of the following equations would have no solution? So looking at our problem, letter A, I have 10x plus 3 and 3 plus 10x. Even though the problems are switched, all the numbers are the same. Positive 10 on both sides, positive 3 on both sides. They match. A is an infinite solution, and so letter A is incorrect. Letter B, negative 8 plus 16x equals 16x minus 8. The variable terms are the same, 16x and 16x. The rest of the problem does not match, and so B is a no solution problem. Just to prove it to you, if you were to distribute the 4 to both the 2 and the negative 3, 4 times 2 would give you 8x, 4 times negative 3 would give you 12. 8x minus 12 matches 8x minus 12. That is an infinite solution. Same thing if you did letter D and distributed. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6x. 3 times 4 is 12. Negative 6x plus 12 equals negative 6x minus 12. The variable terms are the same, but the whole numbers are not. One is a negative 12 and one is a positive 12, and so D is also a correct answer. Now, I did just realize my mistake, and so looking back at letter B, I have a positive 16 and a positive 16. They match, and so that is an infinite solution because negative 8 and negative 8 match. B is an infinite solution. D is the correct answer. My apologies for not catching that. Number 17, solve the equation below. We are going to combine our like terms by doing the opposite. We are going to add 0.8x to both sides. Negative 0.2 plus 0.8 is going to give us 0.6. So negative 4 plus 0.6x plus 11 equals 10. Again, still combining like terms. We combine the negative 4 and the 11. Negative 4 plus 11 is going to give us 7. Still combining like terms, now by doing the opposite, we do a minus 7. 0.6x equals 3. Our last step is to divide, and 3 divided by 0.6 gives us 5. Number 18. When solving an equation, Henry gets to the last line of his work and is left with 3 equals 3. What does this mean? It means there are infinite solutions. 3 equals 3 is the same on both sides. It matches. Matching means an infinite solution. Number 19. Write and solve an equation based on the following description. 11 less than 3 times a number is the same as 75 less than the product of negative 1 and the number. So 11 less than, that's minus, 3 times a number, x, is the same as 75 less than the product means multiply, of negative 1 in a number. Now, my equation, I'm going to rewrite it as negative 3 minus 11 equals negative 1x minus 75. Put the variables in front. When we solve the problem, we are going to combine like terms. So I'm going to add 1x on both sides to get 4x. We're going to add 11 on both sides. Negative 75 plus 11 is going to give us negative 64. And then our last step is to divide. Negative 64 divided by 4 gives me negative 16. Number 20, a video game store allows customers to rent games for $4.75 each. Customers can also buy a membership for $54 annually, and video games would only cost $2.50 each. Write and solve an equation to find the number of video games a customer would have to rent in 1 year in order for the two options to be equal. So, the first option is games are $4.75 each. $4.75 per game. That's where the variable comes in. The second option is $2.50 each, but you have to pay $54 in a fee. So, we are going to solve the equation by combining like terms. We subtract 250x from both sides. 475 minus 250 is going to give us 2.25. And then our last step is to divide. 54 divided by 2.25 gives us 24.